Okay, so here is the next project. This is a, man, it's got to be 7 feet tall. It's really tall, a little lamp post. It's made out of cast aluminum. So this was my dad's, and I guess it fell over, or I don't know, something happened, and it actually broke off this top piece. And since it was cast aluminum, what I did was I went into here, I took this off, I put a oversized washer in there and turned it down on the lathe so it fit right in this little pocket. And then I screwed it on that way, ran the wires through there and everything, and then came back and did this hammer paint or whatever. I forget what you call it. All right, and this is the paint that I used. But it turned out to be a pretty good paint. Anyways, it turned out pretty good. Since it was cast aluminum, it looks like there was a chip that happened, and then once that chip happened, then it started just oxidizing. And so I chipped it off, and you can see it, but looks better than before, I guess you say. And from the street corner, you probably won't be able to see it. So the other thing that we got, and this is mainly what this video is for, is the panes of glass that was in here. And to be honest, I don't know how much a pane of glass would be to professionally cut, because it is at an angle. So we went the next cheapest route, which is plexiglass. So let me show you where we're at. So this is what we wound up getting. Lexan polycarbonate sheet. This is an 8x10, and it's pretty thin. I wanted to get some thicker stuff, but this gets really expensive. So basically what I did was I lined this up here. I measured this up here, so that gave me the width that I needed. I guess that was 8 inches. Yeah, that's 8 inches. And so you can kind of see the outline. But what I did was I put a dot right here and a dot right here. And then that let me know where I needed to cut. So let's go do that. I already did a couple of these just so I could kind of get the feel of what's the easiest, what works, what doesn't work, before I look like a complete idiot on camera. Which, don't hold me to that. I still may look like an idiot. That's okay. I'm your idiot. All right. So here we go. So basically I had, we'll just say a dot here and a dot here. And basically you get a straight edge, and you'll go just straight across there. And the cheapest, easiest way to do that is just like this. Get your knife out, get a razor blade, and then you just score it. And I scored it a whole bunch of times. I mean, we're not in a big hurry. I'd rather score it a whole bunch of time, take time scoring it, making sure that it's a nice deep cut, than not getting it cut deep enough, and then whenever we go to break it, it messes up or whatever. Let's pretend we got this cut down here. And then the other thing I did was from that corner all the way up to this edge, I just followed that, did the same thing, made a whole bunch of scoring cuts. And then you can keep scoring it until it goes all the way through. Like after you score it a whole bunch of times, you may be able to use some sharp scissors and cut it. The other thing you can do is, after you score it, you can get some pliers like this, and then it'll break along that score line. The other thing is, don't mind the mini cannon. I'm not going to be showing that on here. Because we all know how YouTube is. But you can get a straight vise. A straight vise? I hope your vise is straight. But anyways, You can put it in a vise, that'll give you a longer break line. Then the other thing are these sheet metal pliers. If you don't have a good vise, or use it in conjunction with the vise, but that'll give you a nice straight edge as well to break it over. But this was the first one that I did with the razor blade, and yeah, it's picking up. It's not the nicest, cleanish edge. You won't see this because it'll be behind that little that lip, so you're not going to see that, so it'll be fine. So what I did was after I cut this, I made sure that it fit. So this is going to be our main template, I guess you could say. Just laid this down here, and then got a Sharpie, marked it out, and then that brings us to how I'm going to cut this out. So give me a second, we'll go ahead and lay this out. Now we're going to lift this off. It shows us exactly, without that, where to cut. Alright, so let's go cut this real quick. Alright, so this is my 3-in-1. This thing is not really good for anything. I would not suggest getting one of these. But for little situations like this, it works okay. But it does have a shear, it has a brake, and it has a roller. Yeah, it has a 12 inches of working area, and the roller itself, maybe the flat roller, is about 9 inches or so. Not really all that great, but again, like for metal, but for cutting plastic, this ought to work pretty good. So we'll go ahead and put this in here. Just hold it down. Like, I don't know if you can tell how much pressure I put down on that, but I'm putting a bunch of pressure down just to cut this plastic. So again, that's why I really don't recommend this, because yeah, this is 8 inches long, but I feel like it should cut it pretty easily. Anyways, so kind of the way this works is that it comes down this way first. The blade itself comes down this way first. So I'm going to put this thicker end down on this side. But you can see that it does cut really nice. So there's our panel. Alright, so here's our Christmas tree. This is just that regular clear plexiglass, and we wanted to make it kind of foggy, because we're thinking about putting like flicker, like flame lights in there. And so I had 3 different settings. I don't know what you want to call it. So on this end, I did the front and the back. Through the sandblaster, I did the front and the back. On this one here, I did just the front. There's not, like, the camera's really not picking it up too much, but I think we're going to go with this one here. And then obviously you have clear. So, yeah, like I said, the camera's not really picking it up as much. But in person, there's a bit of a difference. But anyways, so yeah, we picked this one here, which is just one side of the plexiglass. All right, let's get back out there. So we're gonna go ahead and take off one of these protective layers. Might be kind of loud, and you'll probably hear the air compressor kick on, but hopefully we can get this. Here we go. look over it, make sure it's fairly consistent. Think so. Alright. Alright, so there we go. Okay. That's kind of the effect that we get. So you can just kind of barely see through it. You can kind of see the shape, but it's not just crystal clear, so you're seeing the light bulb. But alright, so you kind of have to look at it like this. If this was a clear glass, a clear polycarbonate sheet, Lexan, whatever this is, that's what it'd look like if it was clear. And so that's what that looks like now. I didn't notice this big old slit. Alright, so there we go. Or score mark or something. I don't know how that happened. But that's good with the glass, or with it being fog like this, is that you can't see it as easily. So I think that'll look pretty good. And then again, if you wanted it clear, it'd look like that. Okay, so something else you can try to kind of get a frosted look is just some steel wool. So it might take a while to do, but you can tell that it's kind of scuffed up. I don't know how well this will work over time. The other thing I want to try, maybe some acetone. I don't know how well that'll work or not. Yeah. See if we can get that to kind of focus. It kind of worked. Let's leave it on there a little bit longer. Maybe we need to scratch the surface a little bit. It's kind of working. So it almost looks like it's on a cold day and it's kind of frosting over. But you might want to play with that. That could potentially work. So that kind of works. I'll just leave it on there. I don't know how long it'll last, but if you don't have a sandblaster, that might be an alternative. Again, the other thing you can do is use this steel wool and just keep going over it. Alright, let me show you the other thing I got. The other thing is that this cord was only, how far is that? Maybe 3 feet long, maybe 4 feet at the most. And then this cord came off of a vacuum cleaner, I think. And you can see how long that is. I didn't know if we wanted to run this underground, where we were going to do it, but anyway, so I just spliced that together. Let me show you something else we got. Alright, so here's the other thing. Obviously we don't really have a light switch for this. It's just a plug in and the lights turn on. They have one that you can step on. It's kind of like these Christmas lights. Like I said, it just goes to the Christmas tree. You step on it, it turns it on. You step on it again, it turns it off. You could kind of do the same thing with this. You could wire up a switch, hire an electrician, yada yada yada. But here's the other thing. It's this outdoor remote control outlet. So this was actually pretty cheap. This is on Amazon. I will put this in the link below. It is an affiliate link. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but if you use this link, then a small percentage comes back to the channel to kind of help out on little projects like this. But So it comes with the remote. Then it comes with remote control outlet. So basically all you're going to do is you're going to plug that into your wall. You're going to plug whatever you want to control into that. And then you press on and off. I'm not sure what that button does, but we'll find out here pretty soon. Okay. Even comes with the battery that it needs. It's kind of crazy, this little battery has 12 volts in it. Wonder how far we can go. So we're pretty far away. I'd say we're 30 feet away. Something like that. Go all the way to the fence. Let me lean you over. So we're all the way to this fence. That's a good probably 35-40 feet. Boop. So the other kind of cool thing is that, say you lost the remote, you can come over here and just manually turn it on, turn it off. So that's kind of a neat feature too. Or you left it on and you got in the car and you're backing out and you're like, dang it, we forgot to turn that off. The remote's inside, you can just run up there and turn it off. So this will work great for Christmas lights as well. Alright guys, well, hope that helps you out. It's just kind of another alternative to getting glass. I know you can always score glass and cut it yourself, but I don't know. This seems a lot easier to me. Yeah, so anyways, I hope it helps you out with that. This little remote's pretty neat. There's a million different uses you can think about for that. You'd use it in the garage, turn on a shop vac, turn off a shop vac, turn on the fan, turn off the fan, turn on the radio, turn off the radio. It's pretty neat. Alright guys, y'all comment, rate, look for that in the description below. If you got any questions, feel free to leave it, and I'll do my best to get that back to you. My wife and I are still kind of pondering where to put this light. We know that we want one. Where that little twig tree is in front is kind of where we wanted it, but now that the tree is actually kind of growing, don't really want to dig it up because we finally got a tree. But anyways, once it's up and going, I'm sure you'll see it in other videos, other follow-ups or whatever. But again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you guys bought one of these, what all would you use it on? Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. See ya.